Besides, when are you going to get a haircut? People often ask me, hey Pat, when are you going to review another Sega Genesis game? So far, the only one I've reviewed was Alicia Dragoon. But today's a special occasion. I'm going to be looking at another Genesis game. So Sega fanboys, rejoice! Toki was developed by TAD Corporation and was released in arcades in 1989. It was a strange but smooth hybrid shooter platformer where you're an ape and spit to attack your enemies. It was ported over to the Sega Genesis in 1991 as Toki Going Ape Spit, so I'll be taking a look at that version today. Huh, ape spit, ape shit. I get it. What? You actually believe me? Why would I review a Genesis game? What's next, the Master System? How about a 30-minute introspective on Teddy Boy or Gangster Town? Get real, folks! However, you're not totally out of luck because I will be looking at Toki today, but of course it will be the NES version. Wow, I never thought about that, DK Jr. But hey, look, your family had an entire trilogy of games on the NES. Yeah, DK, what was up with Stanley anyway? The NES port of Toki. Be prepared to spit your way to spectacular shooter fun. Here's the story. On a nondescript island, you are Toki, a buff cave dude whose girlfriend Miho is kidnapped by the wizard Buki Meldo. Did I mention that Miho is kidnapped by a giant blue hand? I'd be freaked out too. Wait, Miho? Or is it my ho? If that's not bad enough, Buki turns your buff cave dude into an ape, and it's done apparently through some spell. Wait, that looks suspiciously similar to... Armpit Magic! Oh, sorry, Junior. I didn't know. So as Toki, you have to battle through 6 levels of island action shooting your enemies by spitting fireballs. Sure, you can also jump and bounce off enemies, but that's boring. Spit! Spit is not boring! Phlegm! Mucus! That's why we're here! And this is rapid fire spit with unlimited ammo. But how does Toki constantly spit without running out of juice? You'd think that it'd be smart to cast a magic spell to turn someone into a gorilla without also giving them the ability to spit frickin' fireballs. Unless Toki just has a really bad tobacco habit. Red Man chewing tobacco. America's best chew and the official tobacco of Toki. I didn't really mean it, DK Jr. That was a joke. That was stock footage from an old tobacco commercial that really existed. I know it's not politically correct to refer to Native Americans like that, but But he looks like a gorilla! Or it could be a chimpanzee. It's hard to tell. Privileged? Toki takes care of business in this game. He can fire above his head while jumping and even at a diagonal angle. That's a prime example of the nice controls this game features. Players can move and jump along very smoothly and accurately. And being that this game is also a platformer with many pits, it's gladly appreciated. Toki can even duck, crawl, and even crawl while shooting. Nice! When traveling up and down slopes, he'll naturally shoot at an angle, and he can even attack while climbing or swimming. I'm not sure how you can shoot fireballs underwater, but I'm a lowly game reviewer, not a physicist. There are even spots where Toki will use his ape skills to swing around. Well, like a monkey. So that fits. The enemies you'll encounter aren't the most interesting on paper, but there's some decent variety in the types and in the different ways they attack, including flying pea pods, spiders, moths, cute baby dinos, exploding plants, armored apes, and even white zombie monkeys. Yes, I failed to make a music joke, or a reference to an obscure 1932 horror film. The difficulty of the enemies might not seem adequate at first, especially since you can fire a ton of shots and play it safe usually, but you'll still find yourself in some challenging situations. There are some enemies that appear out of nowhere and give you trouble, missile fish, and these annoyances. Get away, you bouncing monkeys! What did I say? The M word? What? monkey? But that is a monkey! A green monkey! When did that change? The challenge that the enemies presents to the player is tough, but fair. Enemy bosses do present a higher degree of difficulty, but nothing extraordinary if you're prepared. Toki starts by default with only 2 hearts, meaning he'll be in simian heaven with only 2 hits. Thankfully, power-ups are readily available throughout the levels, and at their completion, these will all help our favorite gorilla/chimp/bonobo. Yes, bonobo. Look it up. Power-ups include numerous ones to bolster Toki's spit attack, spread fire, wave attack, larger fireballs, flamethrower, jeez, what did he eat that day? And even a super spit meter that you can charge up. These power-ups only last a limited amount of time, but are great for mowing down enemies more efficiently. Speaking of time, levels do have a limited amount, but players should be okay, and this forces the game to keep moving at a decent clip. There are also football helmets to make Toki invincible for a short period of time, and even sneakers to enable Toki to jump higher. White chimpanzees can't jump. Besides these power-ups, there are also coins that can be collected for points to go towards extra lives, as well as fruit, like strawberries and bananas. But I just said what was in the game! I can't even use the word banana? The tone of Toki is a bit weird and tongue-in-cheek, if you haven't noticed from the bizarre opening sequence alone. For example, check out this random stone face placed in one of the levels. Hi! Some of the enemies are so over the top, especially the mini-bosses and end-level ones. A disembodied gorilla head flapping its giant ears to fly. That's not strange at all, no. I believe the San Diego Zoo just opened up an exhibit featuring this species. How about Rambacha, who attacks by spitting out many eyes at you? I guess he regrows them like toenails? And my favorite, Mogolver, which I believe translates into Scrotum Demon. He attacks by, hold on to your hat, by burping at you, using the literal letters that spell the word burp. Ha, ha, ho, ho, hi. At least the developers are attempting to be a little out there and fun. And you know what? It actually works for the most part. The presentation of the game is fairly solid. The graphics, while not the best, do a good job with most of the character sprites, especially the aforementioned bosses. The game sounds are adequate, and the music is alright, albeit limited to only a few different tracks, with the same single track used for most parts of the levels. The levels are fairly varied with their environments, and are presented at the start of each via a map, Capcom style. There's also a continuing story that looks like it was taken directly from a write-your-own NES story Nintendo Power Contest. Still, it's something you don't usually see in a standard platformer. Toki is a fairly short game at about 40 minutes or less, if you know what you're doing, but it's a fun, arcadey shooter experience that at least tries to stand out in its own quirky way. There's not many games like this that exist, and for that alone, I recommend giving Toki a chance. There's even a great life lesson you learn after you defeat Vuki Meldo and rescue Miho. Now that your quest as the hero character of the game is complete, you are certainly ready to fight through your life as the human being, making the best of the valuable experiences you acquired in the game. The next time another one of my eBay packages gets lost in the mail, I'll just spit in the postal worker's face. Problem solved! Toki is a fine and underlooked game. The developers, Tag Corporation, also put out a title that I enjoy a lot, Cabal. Maybe I'll take a look at that one in the future. My Twitter? Okay. I am not a specious! Some of my best friends are animals! What's HRA mean? I don't want to be an HRA! I'm so upset, I don't think I'll be able to eat this now! Hello, I'm Pat Contry, video game reviewer and owner of Fabulous Hair. Recently, I made some insensitive and offensive remarks regarding apes and lower primates. I wanted to apologize to all the gibbons, bonobos, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, and new and old world monkeys that were offended by these remarks. Remember, words hurt and context never matters. Use me as an example of what not to do in the future. Thank you.